Welcome back to another episode of Tip Tuesday, guys. So thank you guys, everyone who's been submitting your questions. This goes up every night at 10 p.m. So I pick a few questions from my Instagram Tip Tuesday, and then I ask them on here. Today, we're just going to have a random Tip Tuesday instead of actually focusing on fitness or baby. I'm just going to answer just a few on here that have come in, and I'm actually going to have my husband helped me out today just because some of the questions were actually about him, and I just would think let's let him answer them. So want to join me over here and helping the. So this is my hubby. If you don't know him, this is Chingo Bling.
You know, I dressed myself today, so don't mind. You know, this isn't a representation of.
All right, so let's start with what's your favorite workout shoes? I don't really have any. I honestly wear them based on if they match my outfit. So sorry. Do you have a favorite?
Depends on what kind of workout. You know, I'm thinking about getting some boxing shoes. Okay. You know, whenever I do that kind of workout.
Well, what about when we go with Sean? Would you say you like?
Well, you even mentioned squat shoes at some point.
Yeah, I did. I do want some squat shoes. I do want that.
But for the main like just all-purpose cross training, I do the Adidas Boost.
Okay. So I hope that helped you. We don't really have a favorite shoe. So I just, honestly, if it's comfy for you, I say go for it. But if you're using your shoe, I will give you a tip though. If you're using these tennis shoes to run, make sure your shoe size is a half size bigger, because when we run, your foot swells, and you also run and you push your feet forward. So you want space to where you don't cause toe bruising. So if you're using them for running, I would suggest actually to get them a size to a size and a half bigger. What are your thoughts on keto diet? I honestly don't care for it. I have a friend who is like literally swears by it, and she looks amazing, and she bounced back like this after her pregnancy. I just like to stick to the traditional, what works for me, and what works for me is following a menu that was designed by my nutritionist based on my current needs. So
Christine Anderson.
Yeah, at Pose For You on Instagram if you guys want to check her out. So I don't know. How do you feel about keto? Do you feel like it's another fad that's come in, or is it just me?
Okay, I don't know a lot about it.
Same,
the little that I do know is that you're trying to get into ketosis, which is, I guess, your body goes into a state where it burns fat for fuel. So from what like my buddy Rick is on it, I think what they do is just like a lot of meat and vegetables, and like it sounds kind of like low carb. But I've also heard that it's real easy to get out of ketosis. Like you have one drink or something, and boom, you back to square zero. So I agree with Marisol. I've tried everything from slow carb to you name it, and this menu stuff has worked the best because it's all calculated calorie wise. I'm not just saying like, I could just have a lot of beans because, you know, Tim Ferriss said that fiber is good. And, you know.
Yeah, I like to stick to what I know and what I know has worked for me. And since I've had my nutritionist, she has allowed me to get to all the goals that I've wanted to meet. So I just stick to her and I just don't try anything new. So I'm not knocking it, but if you want to try it, I say go for it and see if it works for you. Yeah. I don't just.
I like the menu that's because I really like it. It's working, and the keto stuff. I know me. I'll probably just be like, I could just eat this whole thing of butter because it's keto.
And here's another thing that I feel about these diets that come in. Right, I just feel like, okay, why didn't we know about these like years ago? Like I get it. You do studies and there's things that come out and there's new ways of trying things, but like. We all know that it's about calories. We all know it's about, you know, your macros, your fats. All those things have to be calculated in its portion control. So I don't know. I guess I feel kind of weird about trying new things. I don't know. It's worked for me.
Well, yeah, the scary part is like it's not measured. So you're still kind of like in the dark eyeballing stuff. Like I'm hungry. I just need a whole bunch of fats. And that I don't know. Not overdo it.
This one's actually about you. Will Chingo have another Netflix special?
Okay, well, I don't want to let the cat out the bag, but we don't know. But I do have an hour that we're touring with, so if you want to come see new material, the best way is come see it live.
So if you're in Dallas this weekend, Chingo has 7 shows.
7 shows shouting.
So, come out to one of those shows. We'd love to see you guys there. Here's another one is, have you ever suffered from depression and how did you handle it? Any tips? I can't help you with that. I've never suffered from depression, thank God, but I guess the only thing I can compare depression or sadness to that level to is when my dad passed away. That's the only experience I have as far as like, I can't say I was depressed, but I was definitely like hella sad, to where it was like, I didn't really want to speak to anyone. I kind of wanted to just be left alone. I honestly just kind of dealt with it on my own and just kind of like, I worked out. That was a huge help. I was like working out and just kind of like focusing on other things and trying to take my mind off of like that, the whole thing about my dad passing away was just kind of like, that's kind of how I dealt with it. I did stay away from people for a little while, and that just kind of like was the way that I like to handle things. So I just don't deal with too many people and just kind of went to the gym, and then I kind of worked it out that way. I didn't go to counseling or I didn't see anyone. I just kind of dealt with it myself. I did read books. I think it was like 10 Seconds in Heaven or something like that. And while it was great, it just wasn't like something that was healing for me, although it was recommended as a way to heal about someone who's passed away. So
yeah, there was a point in my life where like life and curveballs were getting thrown at me from like every direction, 100 miles an hour, all at once. And I got super overwhelmed, and you start having your thoughts like, damn, well, what if this ain't gonna work out, and what if this don't pan out, and I'm in this situation. So those thoughts start to let in other thoughts, and before you know it, you're in a dark place, and you're not your spunky self. You're not the creative, imaginative,
for sure,
type of person. So what's kept me on track is really just creating and using my imagination mainly. And of course, sure. How could I be sad?
Okay, here's another one for you, babe. Do you help Chingo with his skits? Went to see him Sunday, and he was hilarious. So thank you for coming out, first of all.
Yeah, thank you for coming to the show. Yeah, Marisol does help me with a whole bunch of stuff. Like whether it's just watching my back, like making sure I don't have a booger hanging out my nose, or today I'm a little scruffy today, but we're gonna get on that later. So for sure, she bien alcahueta. Like I'll have a crazy idea, and it's a normal person would have been like, okay, so how old are you again? And you want to do what exactly? Instead, she's like, all right, so this is something you really want to do. Let's figure out how we can execute it, and so that it comes out good.
And sometimes I'll even take it a step further and be like, it can be even crazier. Yeah. So I'll be like, okay, that's cool, but what if we take it to another notch and just make it even more outlandish? So yeah, I don't always help. He's the creative one. I kind of help more of the
clown.
Yeah, but I'll help him, and I just kind of I do the behind the scenes type of stuff for him. So we work together, and
she could choreograph you a dance. She could style you.
Okay, so this kind of goes into what we were talking about. How do you support your man even when he has an idea that's not good?
You want me to answer it? You got it.
You can answer this.
This is your Tip Tuesday.
Yeah. No, go ahead. So what would you say?
How do you support
me? Have you ever had
even though it's a bad idea?
Even though it's a bad idea.
Okay. She'll hear me out, and then she might be like, okay, well, we can put it on the list of ideas, and we'll see if that one's going to survive the cut, because we have to prioritize.
Exactly. So that's kind of how I would do it. So if you're kind of having that situation to where you're trying to support your other half, but it's not the most brilliant idea, or
it might be risky, but yeah.
I would honestly sit down and kind of do a pros and cons. That's kind of what I do. I kind of play devil's advocate sometimes, and I'll say, well, okay, I see the idea happening, but don't forget X, Y, Z. So
another thing too is she's pretty smart at business, so we'll look at some of the ideas and we'll think to ourselves, okay, if this is the first annual, this is the first time, can we fail forward? What's the, you know what I'm saying? On this particular project, do we just want to just break even, or is this a branding opportunity?
Yeah, so I try to be the voice of reason whenever I think the idea might be a little crazy, or maybe just not a good time to execute it at the time. So, and then it might be executed later. So maybe just sit down and be like, pros and cons,
Planning.
Plan it. Can we
Plan
make
it
it
out.
happen? And then, go from there. That's what I would suggest. How often do you work out and how long? So I honestly work out 6 days out of the week with 1 day off. Sometimes it'll be 5 days with 2 days off. It just kind of depends on where we are with work schedule.
Sleep.
But a minimum, it's sleep.
Energy, rest.
Minimum of 5 days a week, for sure. And it's only because I have a goal, but still, even if I wasn't trying to get to the goal, usually I'd still be at 5 days a week with 2 days off. I like to take the weekend off just because I feel like that's the only time that I have to be able to spend with my baby or my husband or as a family, because we're so busy during the week. So I try to keep it to 5 days out of the week. If I'm able to squeeze in that 6th day, it's awesome. Like, I'll take it. I'm not going to lie to you. But I just try to stick to something more like simple, like going bike riding as a family. It's still a form of exercise, but I didn't have to leave my family to, go do the whole hour. And it's how long? It's usually about an hour 15 at the most, I guess is what we do. So yeah, anywhere between an hour and an hour 15. Honestly, there is no designated time. I know that people think that you have to have, if you go run 2 miles on the treadmill, it may only take you 20 minutes. And if that's your workout for the day, if it's a cardio day for you, then 20 minutes is what your workout was for the day. Whenever I go in and do a lifting routine, sometimes it may only take me 45 minutes to do it because I'll do supersets, and supersets are 2 exercises back to back. And then I'm staying on it to where there's only like a minute 30 of break time between I do the next set. So there is no set time. I don't think you should ever honestly set it on like I have 20 minutes to work out. I would say like the amount of exercises for the body part that you're working out. So usually I do 4 to 5 exercises. If I'm doing superset, it ends up being 8 exercises usually for me when I'm doing supersets. But what about for you?
I do whatever you do. But yeah, it's around 5 or 6 days, and on average, it's about an hour. But
yeah. Let's see. How do you, this is I guess more for me, how do you balance life as far as working out, being a mom, and a wife?
Lots of planning and organization.
Yeah, seriously. Schedule. It's like Sunday nights. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. We were so busy this past weekend because Chingo had 7 shows.
7 shows shouting.
And thank you guys to everyone who came out this weekend to the Houston shows. We really appreciate it. Every Sunday we try to sit down and plan for the week. So if that Sunday is thrown off, we're already thrown off for the week. Like today, we're kind of thrown off because Sunday we worked, and yesterday we literally needed a day off to hang out together as a family.
So Monday was like our Sunday.
Was like our Sunday, so we kind of planned for the week on Monday. So I honestly, I know I've talked about planners in the past. I seriously live by these planners. Like I plan it out, everything from workouts to the babysitter. Babysitter arrives at 9, babysitter leaves at 6. So I know that I only have from 9 to 6 to accomplish everything I need to do, which means working out. It means working, making phone calls, organizing, getting things ready, whatever it is that I need to do. I know that I only have this block of time before she has to leave. And now, I've got to be mom, wife, whatever else is left to do at home. Accountant. Yeah. Do you take any supplements or protein? And if so, what kind? Okay. I'm not taking any supplements right now currently, only because I still give that one last evening feed to Penny, and it's just a comfort feed from her. I'm really trying to push her away from that. So if she doesn't ask for it, I won't give it to her, but I really want her to stop asking for it. So I haven't taken any supplements. As far as the protein is concerned, I don't take any protein shakes. I don't like any protein bars. Protein bars for me, I'll just have as a snack, not really because I need protein. I honestly like to get my protein from food. I'm not a fan of shakes. They make me feel bloated, and actually for women, they make us retain more water, and that's not something that a lot of us know. So I stay away from protein shakes. I just don't like them. When I did have to take them, like because we're on the road and we would travel sometimes with protein. I really didn't do it. I would turn it into pudding because I just didn't like the whole mixing it and making it. So I'd pour a little bit of water in it and I'd like make it into pudding, put it in the fridge, make it really cold, and then I'd have it as pudding. But
but we'd rather go get some steak.
Yeah, I'd rather honestly, I'd rather get my protein from like legit food. I just don't. I feel like I don't know. What do you think about this? I think that protein shakes are seriously just for on the go. Like if you just have, you've got to go, you've got to leave, and you didn't get to prep your food the night before, then okay, then I guess a protein shake will work for me. But normally, I don't remember the last time I've had a protein shake.
You're making it sound like, oh, I didn't prepare and I'm on a go, so I'm going to reach for a shake. No. I can't remember the last time we've even bought a powder shake, except for Mickey. She's 11, and we try to make her.
Yeah, we try to her.
At least a smoothie. Sometimes in the morning, she's like, oh, I'm not hungry. It's like, you need to at least have a little smoothie or
and
something.
So in her smoothie actually has a mix of greens and protein and probiotics. It's a kid version, so I do that. But as far as us, we don't do any of it. So
no, we'll do, even if we're on the go, we have a travel menu.
We have a travel menu as well.
so that one of the travel menus might have like Subway or Starbucks or even there's one that has McDonald's on it.
Yeah, I know. I think I've shown a picture of that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think I've answered a lot of you. Well, here's a baby one. What are some of the ways to encourage baby to walk? I have a 14-month-old. For us is I bought Penny a walker. That was the first thing we did. I don't know that it helped her with walking, but it definitely helped her get strong with standing. I bought this little this playing musical thing that stands, and I would make her stand up, and she would want to reach, and so it'd force her to stand up and kind of hold her balance. I'd put pillows all around where she would stand, and if she fell, she would just fall on the pillows. Mm-hmm. So I did buy that, and that kind of was like the kickoff to it. And then I bought a walker that really kicked off the walking. And then I bought this like little zebra thing that she can push around, almost like a little shopping cart. Super cheap. They're like $20 on Amazon. If you go to my Amazon link, in the storefront. Yeah, I actually posted it. I actually have it on there. It's one of my favorite toys that I feel was worth the $17 to buy because I feel like it helped her. Even now, she's walking great, but I'll see her push the little thing around because it makes noise and she's able to play with it. It does this whole little songs and it counts as the ABCs. So that's what I would use to encourage help. Also, I know I'm a big rebozo user, which is a rebozo is what you use to carry your baby if you don't know. So I actually sometimes would wrap it underneath her armpits and hold it up and then just kind of walk behind her and just kind of like guide her and let her take steps. It's that. It's
like training wheels.
Yeah, it's like a little training wheel. So I did use that for a little bit. So I hope that helps you. I hope those tips kind of help. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Tip Tuesday. I appreciate all the questions that are submitted. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And let us know what else you'd like to see. I know that we do Tip Tuesday and I'm doing the product reviews. So if there's anything else, I will have workout videos coming soon. Those are kind of being planned. So just kind of be patient with me. A lot of you guys have asked for home workouts and I'm going to have those for you, especially you stay-at-home moms who always tell me y'all have no time to be able to go to the gym. I hope these videos that'll be coming up will help you out. So thank you guys for tuning in to Tip Tuesday. I will see you guys here again next Tuesday.